Hi guys, we're exploring today 10 top places you absolutely have to visit in Croatia. Today we're talking a walled city that doubles as the actual King's Landing from Game of Thrones. A national park with 16 turquoise lakes all connected by waterfalls that look completely unreal. An island that gets more sunshine than almost anywhere in Europe and throws the best parties on the Adriatic. And a Roman emperor's palace that people are literally still living inside. Croatia has over 1,000 islands, ancient cities, and water so clear you can see straight to the bottom, and it's officially one of the hottest destinations in the world right now. Let's start it. Number 1. Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is nicknamed the Pearl of the Adriatic. A city of high stone walls and jaw-dropping Game of Thrones filming locations that sits right on the edge of the sparkling Adriatic Sea. Walk the famous city walls for panoramic views of the red-roofed Old Town and the sea below. Then visit Fort Lavergenac, the real-life filming location for the Red Keep. Take the cable car up Mount SRD for views that stretch across the entire city and out to the Elefidi Islands. When the sun goes down, find Buza Bar, a cliffside bar carved right into the rock face where you sip a drink literally hanging over the sea. Croatia became one of the main filming locations for Game of Thrones, and Dubrovnik's Old Town served as the exterior of King's Landing itself. Dubrovnik isn't just a city. It's a set piece come to life. Number 2. Plitvice Lakes National Park. Picture this. 16 turquoise lakes all connected by cascading waterfalls, set against thick forest and limestone cliffs, with wooden walkways and hiking trails winding right over the water, giving you front-row views. As Croatia's oldest and largest national park and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Plitvice is reputed for its 16 emerald lakes and magnificent waterfalls, including Veliki Slap, the tallest waterfall in the country. The colors shift from deep emerald to electric turquoise depending on the angle of the light and the minerals in the water. And no photo you've seen does it justice. This is one of those places where you show up, look around, and completely forget what you were thinking about. Plitvice is pure, unfiltered nature at its most dramatic. Number 3. Split. Split is loud in the best way, cafes, waterfront strolls, and a historic core that isn't a museum. Diocletian's Palace isn't a site you visit. It's the city center. People live inside it. Split's Diocletian's Palace was also transformed into Daenerys' throne room in Meereen for Game of Thrones. So you're basically walking through a UNESCO World Heritage Site that also starred in the most-watched TV show ever made. Grab a coffee on the Riva Promenade and watch the whole city parade past you. Rent a bike and cruise through Marjan Forest Park. Hop on a boat to the dreamy blue lagoon just offshore. Split has possibly the highest concentration of gelaterias you'll ever see, and nobody's complaining. Split is history, beach life, and good food all crammed into the same perfect afternoon. Number 4. Var Island. Var is Croatia's most glamorous island, and it has earned every bit of that reputation. Wander the charming marble streets of Var town, visit the Cathedral of St. Stephen in the main square, and hike up to the Spanish fortress for panoramic views of the town and harbor below. Head out to the Pakleni Islands, a chain of tiny pine-covered islands just offshore with hidden coves and water so clear it's almost transparent. The island is dotted with lavender fields and vineyards producing some of Croatia's best wine. And when the sun starts to set, Var's legendary nightlife kicks in. Beach bars, rooftop clubs, and restaurant terraces packed with people from every corner of the world. Var plays hard and lives beautifully. Number 5. Zadar. Zadar is the Adriatic's best-kept secret, an ancient city on the Dalmatian coast that most people fly straight past on the way to Dubrovnik, and they are making a serious mistake. The old town sits on a peninsula jutting into the sea, packed with Roman ruins, medieval churches, and some of the best sunsets in Europe. Alfred Hitchcock once called the Zadar sunset the most beautiful in the world. Don't miss the sea organ, a unique installation built into the seafront steps where waves push air through pipes beneath your feet, turning the Adriatic into music. Zadar is also a brilliant base for exploring Croatia's many islands, including Dugi Otok, a lesser-known gem where you can kayak through sea caves, go cliff jumping, and lie on white sand beaches. Zadar gives you everything without the crowds. Number 6. Korčula Island. Korčula offers that sweet spot between charm and comfort. A beautifully walkable old town with vineyards and beaches that make it easy to mix culture, food, and the outdoors without rushing. Some call it Little Dubrovnik because of its similar walled architecture, but Korčula has its own unique character entirely. The island is said to be the birthplace of Marco Polo, the greatest explorer in history, and there's a tower in the old town that marks the spot. Local winemakers here produce Pozop and GRK, white wines unique to this island that you genuinely cannot find anywhere else on Earth. Sail between hidden coves in the morning, drink wine straight from the vineyard at lunch, and watch the sunset from the old town walls in the evening. Korčula is effortlessly perfect. Number 7. Krka National Park. Krka is Plitvice's wilder, more accessible cousin, and honestly, it's just as spectacular. A series of powerful waterfalls cascade through a dramatic limestone canyon on the Krka River, with the star of the show being Skredinsky Buk, a wide, thundering cascade you can actually swim directly beneath. Unlike Plitvice, swimming is permitted at certain spots here, which makes the whole experience feel completely different. Ancient Roman ruins, early Christian churches, and a working Franciscan monastery sit right in the middle of the park alongside the waterfalls. History and nature crashing together in the most cinematic way possible. Krka is the kind of place you plan to spend 2 hours in and end up staying all day. Number 8. Revenge. Wander along the harbor of Revenge to see pastel-colored houses and winding alleys that seem to tumble straight into the tranquil turquoise sea. This Istrian fishing town on Croatia's northwestern coast looks like it was painted by someone who was trying too hard, except it's completely real. The old town is built on a tiny peninsula with cobblestone lanes so narrow 2 people can barely pass, climbing up to the Church of St. Euphemia at the very top with a bell tower that watches over the whole Adriatic. The seafood here is some of the freshest in Croatia. Plates of grilled fish, truffle pasta, and local Istrian wine eaten right on the waterfront while fishing boats bob in the harbor behind you. Revenge is romance in stone form. Number 9. Zagreb. When you imagine Croatia, you might imagine glimmering waters and whitewashed stone cities. But the capital Zagreb has a completely different vibe, and for that reason it's sometimes overlooked by tourists. That is their loss. Zagreb is a proper Central European capital with a gorgeous upper town of medieval churches, museums, and café terraces, and a buzzing lower town full of Art Nouveau architecture, covered markets, and street food. The Museum of Broken Relationships, yes, that's a real museum, is one of the most unique and genuinely moving attractions in Europe. Dolac Market on a Saturday morning, with farmers selling cheese and produce under red umbrellas, is pure Croatian life. Zagreb moves slower than the coast and rewards everyone who gives it a chance. And last, number 10, Mulje Island. Mulje is the island you choose when you want your Croatia experience to be quiet, lush, and completely off the tourist trail. The western third of the island is a national park, covering 2 saltwater lakes surrounded by thick pine and oak forests so dense it feels almost primeval. In the middle of the larger lake sits a tiny island with a 12th century Benedictine monastery, and you can rent a kayak or small boat and paddle out to it like something from a dream. The island has no big resorts, no nightclubs, and barely any noise. Just forest paths, crystal clear water, and an almost supernatural sense of calm. Legend says Odysseus himself was stranded on Mulje for 7 years, and honestly, you'll understand why he didn't try harder to leave. Croatia isn't just a country. It's Game of Thrones walls rising from the Adriatic, waterfalls that turn the air electric, Roman palaces where people still drink their morning coffee, and islands so beautiful they make the rest of the world feel slightly inadequate. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel guides.